So we've now configured the network with IP addresses. The Ubuntu PCs have IP addresses. The routers have IP addresses. The next step is to configure a GRE tunnel between the two customer routers. So here's customer 1. Show IP interface brief. Shows us the IP address on gigabit 01. Customer 2, show IP interface brief. This is the IP address on customer 2. Now, something to be aware of, you're going to statically configure IP addresses through GRE. We are being allocated IP addresses through DHCP. That's fine for this lab, but in the real world, you're going to want to get a static IP address from your ISP. Otherwise, your GRE tunnels will break when the IP addresses of the routers change. We've been told to use tunnel 0 with this IP address on customer 1 and this IP address on customer 2. So in customer 1, interface tunnel, pick a number, 0 is what we've been told to use. But notice there's a long range of potential tunnel numbers that can be used. IP address on this interface is going to be 10.1.3.1/24 mask. Tunnel source is going to be gigabit 01. Tunnel destination is going to be router 2, so 8.8.11.2. Now we're told that the tunnel has come up. It's not working at the moment yet because we need to configure the other side, but the router has IP reachability to the destination router, so the tunnel interface comes up. On this side, interface tunnel 0, IP address 10.132/24 mask. Again, in the real world, you probably want to use a /30 mask. Source is going to be gigabit 01. Destination of the tunnel is going to be 8.8.10.2, so 8.8.10.2. Tunnel interfaces come up, so show IP interface brief. We should hopefully be able to ping from one side of the tunnel to the other, which we can. So these two routers can now ping each other, but notice that the core ISP routers don't know about network 10.1.3.0. That's because the traffic is being encapsulated. So as an example, if I capture the traffic here, we see some traffic. I'll do that ping from customer 1 to customer 2. And as we scroll down, we see ICMP traffic in the output. But notice this traffic is being encapsulated in other IP version 4 traffic. So here's a layer 2. This is the MAC address between ISP 1 and ISP 2. Traffic type is IP version 4 at layer 3. There's IP version 4 traffic at layer 3. Notice the source and destination of the traffic is customer 1 and customer 2. So customer 1 has this IP address on the internet-facing interface. That's the source. The destination of the traffic is customer 2. So that's the IP address we see here. So the routers on the internet are going to route traffic based on this information at layer 3. But as we dig in to the packet, we see GRE, and then we see the encapsulated IP traffic, with traffic going from 10.1.3.1 to 10.1.3.2, which is how we did the original ping. Router 1 pinged router 2 across the tunnel, and then we see the ICMP traffic. So there's the ping request or echo request. Here's the echo reply. Notice the source and destination IP addresses have been reversed for the return traffic. So basically, these ISP routers don't know about this network because 10.1.3.0 is encapsulated in a GRE tunnel. The ISP routers only see the public IP addresses of customer 1 and customer 2. So they see these IP addresses and route the traffic based on those IP addresses. The next thing we need to do is enable a routing protocol, EIGRP in Autonomous System 100, that allows customer 1 to learn about this network and customer 2 to learn about this network. You could use OSPF or static routes if you prefer, but in this example we're going to use EIGRP. So show IP route. Notice the router knows about network 10.1.1.0 and 10.1.3.0, but it doesn't know about 10.1.2.0. Customer 2 knows about 10.1.2.0, 10.1.3.0, but doesn't know about 10.1.1.0. So router EIGRP 100. Network 10.0.0, and I'll disable automatic summarization. On this side, router EIGRP 100, network 10.0.0.0, no auto summary. So as you can see, an EIGRP neighbor relationship has been formed across tunnel 0. A new adjacency has been formed. So show IP EIGRP neighbor. We can see that customer 1 has a EIGRP neighbor relationship to customer 2 through the tunnel. So now customer 1 should know about network 10.1.2.0, which it does. It's learnt that through EIGRP via the tunnel interface. So customer 1 should be able to ping 10.1.2.1, this IP address on customer 2, which it can, and customer 2 should be able to ping this IP address on customer 1, which it can. So it looks like GRE is working properly. The last test is to ensure that the Ubuntu clients can ping each other. Here's Ubuntu 1. Here's Ubuntu 2. So Ubuntu 1 has this IP address, 10.1.1.2. Ubuntu 2 has this IP address, 10.1.2.2. So can Ubuntu 2 ping Ubuntu 1? At the moment it says not, network is not reachable. This is most likely a problem with DHCP on the Ubuntu client. Notice it doesn't have a default gateway. What about on this side? Also doesn't have a default gateway. So what I'll do is I'll simply stop the two Ubuntu clients and start them up again so that they boot up and request IP addresses through DHCP. So here are the new consoles. Notice their IP addresses have also changed. So ifconfig shows us the IP address of the Ubuntu client. And notice the IP address on the side. That's because the Ubuntu clients boot up with different MAC addresses. So if we look at the DHCP bindings, notice the router sees different MAC addresses for the Ubuntu clients. So now, can we ping Ubuntu 1? Yes, we can, and that's because a default route has been added to the Ubuntu client. What about this side? Can it ping the other PC? Yes, it can. And that's because the Ubuntu client has a default gateway or default route. If these were physical PCs, you could have done an IP DHCP renew or shut an interface down and re-enabled it to make sure that the client got an IP address as well as a default gateway. So let's look at our Wireshark Capture again. And what I'll do is get the Ubuntu clients to ping each other. So here's Ubuntu 1 pinging Ubuntu 2. The pings succeed. I'll do a search for ICMP. Scroll down to the end, and we can see 10.1.1.3 is pinging 10.1.2.3. It's an ICMP request, and here's the reply. So again, at a layer 2, we can see the MAC addresses of the ISP routers. These are the IP version 4 addresses that are used on the internet. Customer router 1 sending traffic to customer router 2. Here's the GRE encapsulation. Here are the IP addresses of the Ubuntu hosts. And inside we can see echo request, echo reply. Again, on the ISP routers, such as ISP router 2, they have no visibility of network 10. They only see network 8.8.x.x. We are not advertising these internal networks to the internet. These routers are running BGP as well as OSPF. A default route has been allocated to customer router 1 and customer router 2 through DHCP. So these routers are not running BGP or OSPF. They are only running EIGRP, and the only neighbor relationship that they have formed is between themselves. So how did you get on? Were you able to complete the lab? It's important that you learn how to configure networks and troubleshoot networks for the CCNA exam, and that includes GRE tunnels.